Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Let me wish all of you a happy new year. Hope you had a great Christmas. Got all the die-cast or resin cars that you had on your list, and hope you've been good. Anyhow, that being said, let's take a look at a 143 scale Spark 2012 Marusia MR01 that you see right here. This interesting model comes on this black wooden base, and like all Spark models, has standard acrylic jewel cover. And the Marusia themed box, the year 2012, you can see in the right-hand corner. This is one of those slipcase models, as virtually all the Formula One cars are. Open on both ends, has the Marusia themed rear, and if you flip it over, it's Spark Mini Max. And this is the official license information. And folks, it's really important that when you buy a model car, if you buy it from a reputable dealer on eBay or from any of your favorite sellers, CK Models or Stone Models, you certainly do get branded products, but there's a lot of counterfeit crap out there that quite frankly is that, just crap. So avoid buying that stuff. Now, as far as design characteristics, this car was very much unique. Unlike its predecessor, the MR01 was not designed using both CFD and wind tunnel testing, but simply computer I believe it's functioning dynamics, where they just designed the thing on a computer. This led to developmental delays and a really unreliable and pretty crappy car. In fact, the car was unable to pass initial mandatory crash tests. The car was also one of only 3 not to feature the ugly step nose, and I think that is actually a good thing. I think those are some ugly-ass cars. However, if you take a look at the beak on this thing, I mean, it's got a nose like Pinocchio. It sticks way out over the front wing. Not particularly bad looking, but not particularly attractive. The engine was a Cosworth CA 2012 naturally aspirated mid-mounted V8. Clever nomenclature there, huh? The MR01 was also the only car not to use a kinetic energy recovery system. And the transmission was a Marrusia housed X-Trax 7-speed. Now, one thing I like about Spark models, they always have the name of the driver or drivers. Oops, excuse me, sorry, dropped this thing. My apologies. In this case, it was Timo Glock, a German, and the other driver for the 2012 season was Charles Pic, a Frenchman. Now, as far as the success of this car, well, let's just say it was pretty crappy, and that's being polite. There were 20 races in the 2012 season. The Marussia team won 0, had 0 podiums, 0 poles, and was probably the worst team in F1 at that time, along with HRT and Lotus. You pick your 3, all 3 were pretty crappy. Now, the Marussia Formula One team was a British F1 racing team based out of Banbury, Oxfordshire, and later Dennington, South Yorkshire in the UK. At the time in 2012, the team had a Russian racing license, and Marussia was one of their partners, and they were a Moscow-based sports car manufacturer. The team was operated by Manners Motorsports, a subsidiary of Marussia Motors. And the team originally started in 2010 as Virgin Racing. And if you take a look at this car, you will see Virgin on it right there on the engine nacelle. Now, guys, this is a really interesting car, I think. I hope you agree with me that the black and red logo is really quite interesting. The front wing on it is pretty cool, considering the year was 2012 and there was pretty ugly damn cars out there. I do appreciate the fact it does not have the stepped nose, as many of the other cars did. The suspension is really good looking. It has some nice carbon fiber trim. Not real apparent, but it's there. You've got the white walled Pirelli P0 tires on it, which I think look good with this car. You have the pitot tube. It is black, and you have to pull up the side here to really kind of see it. You got a couple aerials there as well, and they are nice and fine, as they should be. The barge boards are simplistic, but cool, and they are in red. And if you take a look at the cabin, it's really pretty good. The steering wheel, I think, looks excellent. The driver's helmet, that of Mr. Glock, is pretty neat considering the era. And I think his body, the straps, and everything else look very, very nice. Engine nacelle is interesting. All of the camera hubs, cool. Decals are well applied and simplistic. You've even got CNBC on here as well as one of the sponsors. Do note, of course, you've got glossy black here, then you've got flat black around, and this is where the exhaust nacelles are. And what I like about this car is it has two exhausts that come out the side, not one out the rear. Looks more like a sports car. I really like it. It's one of the cool things I liked about this car. The rear suspension, the carbon fiber trim look really, really good. The rear wing, I think, is pretty sharp. Pull it around here, and you can see Marusia on it. O-net, or Q-net, on the rear wing. All in all, a good-looking car. Well, folks, that wraps it up. Hope you have enjoyed it and found it informative. Again, let me wish you a very happy new year. Take care. See you next time.